This morning, it's scenes like these in Pennsylvania.
There it is right there.
And in New York that have millions on edge. That massive nor'easter sitting off the East Coast overnight, packing heavy rain, snow, and damaging winds. Some people needing assistance because of those slippery conditions. The powerful storm already leaving a trail of destruction in its wake.
I will be very careful in here.
The roof of this produce business in North Carolina smashed through by tree branches. In Tennessee, heavy flooding forcing residents to kayak through their own front yards. And in Ohio, more than 50,000 customers already without power. The storm now taking aim at the Northeast with the potential for major coastal flooding. In Massachusetts, evacuations already underway as officials worry the damage could be even worse than January's devastating nor'easter.
It's a heck of a storm, and people need to take it seriously.
We're going to begin tonight with this bad storm battering much of the East Coast tonight. At least 4 people in 3 states have been killed by falling trees, including 2 boys 6 and 11 years old. More than 50 million people from the mid-Atlantic to New England are in the storm zone. Coastal communities are getting swamped by hours of heavy rain and a surge of seawater. Exceptionally high tides tonight could bring more flooding. Inland areas in higher elevations are getting more than a foot of heavy snow. That's the kind that snaps tree limbs and power lines. The most widespread threat is wind. Gusts have topped 80 miles an hour, hurricane force. More than 2 million homes and businesses have lost power so far. Thousands of flights have been canceled. Chris Van Cleve is north of Boston in Winthrop, Massachusetts, and he begins our coverage tonight.
Jeff, the Massachusetts coast is just getting hammered. Wind gusts up to 88 miles an hour. And now first responders are really worried all this wind is going to churn up the waves at high tide and send it slamming into these houses, possibly through these houses.
By midday, the Atlantic Ocean was easily jumping over Winthrop's seawall. 14 feet of floodwaters rushed through beachfront homes, turned neighborhoods into lakes and cars into moored boats. Emergency crews had to use construction vehicles to rescue the stranded. We found the Cresses looking to escape the 4 feet of rising water in their basement. They'd just finished fixing the house after it was flooded during January's record bomb cyclone storm.
Why did you ask to get taken out of here now?
Because the tide's going to be higher tonight.
Okay.
They loaded into the back of this National Guard monster truck along with their 17-year-old cat, Sweetheart. And Boston didn't fare any better. Waterfront condos quickly became water-filled along the harbor.
This is Boston's Long Wharf. Normally it is tourist central. Right now it is part of the harbor as the tide is pushing all of this water up into a place where normally people would be gathering. This was the 3rd highest tide on record here in Boston, more than 14.5 feet. Tonight is expected to be even higher.
The at times hurricane-force winds did damage too, up and down the northeast coast. Trees crushed the sides of houses. Power poles were bent sideways, and millions of customers lost power.
Fucking hell! I'll get around it. Sorry. Holy shit!
Can you get round?
I think so. I don't know. How the fuck has that got there?
Can you get around?
I don't know.
Get out and have a look.
Yeah, I think we get around there.
No, because there's a ditch there. Just get out and have a look. See what they say.
If the first day of March is supposed to hint at the spring to come, there's little evidence of it here after a visit from the beast from the east, the worst storm to hit Britain in 17 years, leaving chaos in its wake. Many train services ground to a halt. In Scotland, more than 300 people were stranded on this highway, some for up to 20 hours in their cars.
Half a bottle of water left.
Oh my God!
Conditions so bad that the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, even urged people not to travel.
No!
Europe is being battered. Siberian winds blowing in from Russia have sent temperatures plummeting and covered cities under a blanket of snow. In the UK, they're calling it the beast from the east. Rail, road and air services have all been severely affected, in some cases grinding to a halt. Armed forces have also been deployed to help.
Mogan, zona de la Umbridilla. Unos vecinos tratan de rescatar su vehículo. Los barrancos corren con una fuerza insólita. Más de 75 litros por metro cuadrado han caído en los altos de San Bartolomé de Tirajana. Un agua torrencial que entra de esta forma en la presa de Chira.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a lake.
I didn't know there was a park there with...
Yeah, there's nothing there, like...
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta turn around somewhere.
No, we're not swimming in the water. Oh my gosh. There's no way my car would go through this.
That's what I'm saying to you.
I did want up there.
Oh, this is flooding. We shouldn't be crossing this. Flitzer? No. We're going to get washed away on the road.
Oh god, this car's stuck.
We shouldn't be doing this.
No, I know. Okay, I won't be able to bring you home. Shit.
Oh shit, I'm stuck with you?
Oh god. I might have to...
Well, good afternoon. Now floodwaters have begun receding in North Queensland. The cleanup has begun and people are starting to count the costs. Towns north and south of Townsville copped the worst of the damage. This is Garoo. It was cut off when the Horton River broke its banks yesterday. It peaked at 3.1 metres, which is a new record. Half a metre of water went through the fire station.
A couple of days ago we were looking at this weather event coming across Townsville. We were very concerned about the level of rainfall that was going to happen and how the community and everyone was going to react to that. And I've got to say that good job to everyone.
But like so much of North Queensland, they're used to this type of flooding, although this is the most rain Townsville has seen since 2014. The Queensland Emergency Services Minister toured the region today. It's estimated this flood has done millions of dollars worth of damage, but there is a silver lining. The dam is more than 80% full and the Barra are biting.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's good. Worth getting up early.
Well, that same system that drenched Townsville is now heading towards the Gulf. Some forecasters are predicting it will cause Queensland's worst flood since 1974. It's prompted the Weather Bureau to issue a severe weather warning for heavy rain and damaging winds. Good news for farmers, but that rain could start to move down to the southeast too.
Take a trip out west and you'll find roads that now resemble rivers.
That's a lot of water.
Waterways that have been desperately dry for months are now full and fully flowing. It's certainly welcome rain for many, but the deluge has its downsides.
They call it the Mississippi here. When it does rain, you can't drive anywhere.
Certain roads are cut off, with bridges being consumed by water. And some are even fully submerged.
Where is the hazard, Mr. B?
It's there.
Over a 24-hour period, Cloncurry captured 101 millimetres of rain. The gauge reached 150 millimetres at Black Gorge, while Carsland copped a whopping 298 millimetres.
And that will continue over the coming days, so definitely more rainfall for those people out there.
Swiftwater rescue crews and 2 flood boats have been deployed to Winton and Longreach, with some predictions suggesting there could be further intense rainfall of up to 300 millimetres.
You will see some flash flooding. You will see some rivers running a lot harder than what you've probably seen for a number of years.
And even if the brunt of the system is still to come,
there goes all the topsoil.
There's one big positive. No one's getting too many complaints from the kids. Ben Murphy, 7 News.
Oh my God.
Dia motornya ke bawah. Motornya ke bawah. Sama orang-orangnya.
embaixo, na outra rua.
Não, deixa não, caiu tudo. Puta merda. Olha o fio que tá estourando, ó. Ali o carro. Nossa.
Pô, fiquei na frente.
Olha, mais uma folha. Quase que pega em cima do carro de novo.
Olha lá o carro. Deixa eu ver se dá pra gente ver como tá no outro dia, eu mandei no fogo. Nossa senhora, precisa sangue, gente.
¿Palabras de qué? Acá está otra vez, señor municipal, por tercera vez consecutiva. A ver qué hacemos. Nada, ¿no? Solo mandar inspectores. A ver si tenemos las rejillitas que llegue al piso, el mosquitero, ¿no? Esto es Alberti Rioja hoy. A usted, señor intendente de la Municipalidad General Porredón, que manda continuamente a recordar, me intimó a ver si tenía una baldosita roja rota para que la arregle. ¿A usted le parece que nosotros tenemos que estar soportando esto y encima continuamente inspecciones municipales para recaudar y el puesto a la balanza. ¿Cuál es la solución, señor? ¿Qué quiere que haga? ¿Que me ponga como todos los delincuentes que van a pedrear la municipalidad, a pintársela? ¿Eso quiere que haga? Y a pedir planes, señores. Yo laburo, soy comerciante, tengo todo al día.
Global sea ice extent in the Antarctic has shrunk to its second lowest on record, according to the Australian Antarctic Division. The new year was heralded by a week of record low daily ice extents, with the January average beating out 2017. The low ice extent is puzzling given that air temperatures were near or below average. Ice grew throughout the month of January, and by mid-month, daily extents were actually higher than for 2017. However, by the end of January, the extent was once again tracking below 2017. The Australian Antarctic Division says the ice cover plays a crucially important role both in the global climate system and as a key habitat for a wide range of things from microorganisms to whales.